Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders. Only on video cassette and DVD.
What are you talking about?
Featuring out-of-this-world action and close encounters of the funniest kind.
Cooperate, and you will not be harmed.
Are they real? What does the government know? Will Scooby-Doo and Shaggy finally get enough to eat? Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders. Now, only on video cassette and DVD.
Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders. Man, am I excited to dive into this one. I was obsessed with this movie when it first came out. It was one of the very first movies to come out on VHS and DVD at the same time, so I was able to watch all the commentary and extras the DVD had. On top of that, there was a second installment of what's called the Scooby-Doo Mook era of movies, which is a set of 4 movies including Scooby-Doo Zombie Island, Scooby-Doo Alien Invaders, Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, and Scooby-Doo Cyber Chase. It's called the Mook era because in the early 2000s, Hanna-Barbera, the show's air runner at the time, wanted to reinvent Scooby-Doo and use the help of an animation studio in Japan called Mook Animation to do so. Not only were the animation and the soundtrack spot on for this film, but we finally got to see our boys Scooby and Shaggy get the girls. Well, sorta. We'll talk more on that later. And Jennifer Love Hewitt performing the Scooby-Doo soundtrack? I mean, this movie really hit all the markers for me as a child. And so, with all my fangirling over this film out of the way, let's get started. The movie starts out as usual with our committed duo driving the mystery machine to another diner late at night. But when a dust storm forms, they drive off the beaten path and cross into a restricted government site. When the dust settles, we end up seeing what appears to be a UFO flying past our mystery gang, seemingly scanning them. They get scared and end up crashing the van, but there's hope. They see lights off into the distance. So Velma, Daphne, and Fred head into town for assistance while Scooby and Shaggy guard the mystery machine. While waiting, our duo sees a jackalope, a supposedly mythical creature, and when Scooby sees it, he instantly goes into full protection mode. So Scooby chases the jackalope down and Shaggy follows. They end up uncovering a glowing cave, but before they could enter, they are chased away by actual aliens and end up being chased in the same small town diner where the rest of the gang is. They explain to the gang what happened and what they saw, and while at the diner, they are told by a suspicious acting character Lester, who claims to have been abducted by these aliens, that the alien occurrences have been happening for about a month now and have scared all the locals, which caused most of the town's residents to move away. Lester tells the gang he has photos, so they head to his house but find out that they're just paintings. But one of the paintings seems to have the same UFO the gang saw, which gives us our first official clue. This gives some credibility to the crazy Lester, so the gang take him up on his offer to spend the night at his house. As Scooby and Shaggy are sleeping on top of Lester's house, they are abducted by a UFO and wake up out in the middle of nowhere just like Lester said happened to him. We're then introduced to Crystal and her dog Amber, who are out taking photos for a wildlife magazine. Shaggy and Scooby instantly fall in love. Crystal offers them a lift to the rest of the gang, and on the way, sparks instantly fly. Scooby and Shaggy are smitten. We then hear the bop, Groovy, a music video which, as a kid, had me hooked. I mean, this was a big deal. A love song sung by Shaggy himself? Kid me couldn't ask for more. When our comedic duo meet with the rest of the gang, they tell them what happened, but Lester is the only one to believe them. The gang then meet Max, one of the satellite station workers who is at the mechanics picking up a lot of oil, which gives us our second official clue. Max offers our mystery gang a tour of the satellite station, but Scooby and Shag go with Crystal to show her where they saw the jackalope. And our duo instantly starts pouring out every corny move out there to impress the girls. Back at the satellite station, Max and his team explain that they're just out here to observe space, but Velma notices that they have an awfully large amount of dirt on their boots for a supposedly cushy job, which gives us our third official clue. Editor's note. I like how we're being shown two separate stories at the same time, with Velma, Daphne, and Fred investigating a UFO mystery, and Scooby and Shaggy just out here falling in love. They're really pulling out all the stops in this movie. I didn't really notice any of this when I was a kid, but this kind of storyline takes a lot of skill to pull off right, and I think the writers nailed it. We then pan back to Shaggy and Crystal being kicked out of Scorpion Ridge, the area where Shaggy found the jackalope by the government cops investigating the area. But Crystal wants to go back in. We find out that she's really a government agent set out to investigate the alien sightings, which doesn't deter our duo one bit, and they agree to help her get back to investigate the glowing cave Scooby found. While in the cave, our love-smitten duo and Crystal and Amber find a gold mine, like an actual gold mine. At the same time, the rest of the gang were headed to the same area after Velma got suspicious of the satellite workers' store, and they find a cave too at the bottom of a gourd, which led them to mining equipment, the same oil cans Max was hauling in his van, giving us our third official clue. As Shaggy and Scooby are freaking out over the gold mine they stumbled upon, the aliens appear and our love quartet are chased out of the cave, while the rest of the gang get captured by the aliens, who turn out to be the satellite workers. They stumbled upon the gold mine one day while out working, but since it was government property and they wouldn't be able to keep any of it for themselves, they came up with the phony alien hoax as a way to scare off the locals and explain all the noises from their mining activities, even going as far as buying a helicopter, a Hollywood set, thousands of dollars in sound equipment, and stealing cattle from the locals to help make the aliens look real. I mean, come on. The work and planning to make all this happen would have set these guys back millions. And how do satellite workers know how to use mining equipment or fly a helicopter? I mean, these guys are actually going to delete 3 teenagers who stumbled upon their plans? As a kid, I wasn't thinking about any of this, but as an adult, I can't help but notice that some of these hoaxes the mystery gang encounter are just poorly thought out plans of crazy people. As our love quartet were being chased out of the cave, they try and barge their way back in when they hear Daphne and Velma scream for help. But the government cops who were in on the whole plot weren't just gonna let our love quartet pass. That is, until Crystal and Amber turn their medallions on their chest and shapeshift into actual aliens. This allows Crystal and Amber to help the rest of the mystery gang escape, but they are captured by the satellite workers who want to make a quick buck off their alien novelty. While all this was happening, Scooby and Shaggy were kind of just hiding out of the way, but when they hear our alien duo scream for help, they jump up and become the most heroic thing I've ever seen in a Scooby-Doo movie. They jump on a bulldozer and go all medieval Gavilan style and charge at the satellite workers and trap them with the help of Fred, wrapping up the mystery. The movie starts to end with Crystal and Amber explaining their real backstory as they're heading back to their ship. They're really aliens investigating signals from Earth sent out from the 1970s, which explains their hippie outfits and lingo that matched our comedic duo. They just assumed everyone dressed like that. And end our fairy tale love story with Crystal and Amber parting ways with our favorite duo, with a kiss on their cheeks and a sad goodbye. And our mystery gang head back onto the road to stumble upon another mystery. But hold on, there is one character that we haven't talked about yet, Buck the Mechanic. We were first introduced to this character when the mystery gang asked him to help out on their van issues. And then later we see him out near Scorpion Ridge, the same area where the satellite workers were mining the gold. Turns out this really intimidating mechanic was just a really nice guy collecting flowers. He's just a fun background character I wanted to point out that I felt went unnoticed to me as a kid. And while we're on the subject of background characters, Lester, the crazy alien guy, was just a really good painter who got sucked into this whole thing, making the guy go kinda cuckoo from the whole ordeal of being abducted. While the gang was at his house investigating his so-called photos, we're told that he did have 2 kids, but they moved out when all the alien occurrences started happening, which gives a sad side to this kooky side character. This movie struck gold with me, pun intended, for multiple reasons, but I think the main one was the love-struck duo finally getting a good B-plot. Hanna-Barbera was really cooking with something when they started to revamp Scooby-Doo back in the late 1990s, and this gets me excited for the next movie in the Mook era, Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. I can't wait to see what they cook up for this one. From memory, I think the next one introduces the Hex Girls and a chilling Halloween plot, which is perfect for this time of year. So I'll try to get it out soon. But until next time, thanks for watching.